Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to take a look at the mini monster graphics card, the Zotac GTX 1050 Ti. Okay, so this is the Zotac GTX 1050 Ti, which is a mini card. Now this card is a perfect card for people wanting to get into PC gaming, or even if you're a video editor or content creator. This will allow extra frame rate, more processing power, and all that good stuff. Now, before I get too far into it, let's have a look inside and see what we get actually in the box. Okay, so we'll get our quick installation guide. You get something about Ignite, whatever that is. Don't get a driver disc, but you get a leaflet telling you, or rather a piece of paper telling you to go to geforce.com to get the drivers. Fantastic. And we get the card, nothing else. There's no need for extra power connectors or anything like that, and there's no adapters to convert the display outputs to the older VGA style, which I'll get onto in a minute. So, there it is. What a cute little card. Now the card itself, lengthwise, you're looking at about 145mm, and widthwise about 111, so it is a tiny card. Now this will fit in pretty much any system. So if you've got a Dell or Asus or Acer pre-built system, this will fit in absolutely fine. This will fit pretty much 99% of all PCs, including mini ITX, all those kind of form factors. Now, one of the benefits of this card, being that it is so small, obviously it will fit into a very small chassis, but also it doesn't require any supplementary power, so no extra 6-pin or 8-pin connector. So again, if you're using a pre-built system from any of the aforementioned manufacturers, you don't have to worry about there being an extra connector in your chassis ready to connect to power this card. So pretty much every PC is going to be able to use one of these cards. So let's have a quick look around the card itself and see what we get. You get a large cooling fan, which is on a sunflower design cooler. Now the fan itself is, I would say, probably about 100mm, not a lot more, not a lot less than that. So quite a large fan considering the size of the actual card itself. So moving around onto the back, you get a DVI connector, you get a DisplayPort connector, and you get an HDMI connector. Now both the DisplayPort and the HDMI are full-size connectors. You don't have to worry about using any type of adapter to connect it to your system. So looking around the card, because it is so small and there's very little to actually plug in or connect to the rear, there's not really much more I can say about this. So let's have a quick look at some of the specs of this card. So this is the GeForce 1080 Ti. You're looking at 768 CUDA cores, video memory 4GB of GDDR5. The memory bus is 128-bit, and you've got a clock base of 1303 megahertz. Now this boost is stated on their website as being 1417 megahertz, so 1417 megahertz, but it's not unusual to see these cards using the boost feature to boost up a lot higher. Some GTX 1050 Ti's can boost up as high as 1900 megahertz. Obviously it is a little bit of a silicon lottery, so your card may not boost as high as that, but it wouldn't be unusual to see it in the sort of 1600 megahertz. So it supports PCI Express 3.0, and like I said, display outputs, you've got DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0B, and dual-link DVI HD CP support. So it says recommended power supply 300 watts. So again, like I said before, pre-built systems shouldn't be any problem whatsoever. Most systems on the market these days have got at least a 300 watt power supply, if not considerably more. Now this card only draws about 75 watts of power, so again it draws the power directly from the PCI Express port, so no additional power required, so it's all good there. Now let's look at feature support. So we're looking at a DirectX 12 card with OpenGL 4.5, so you shouldn't find any problem running any of your latest favourite games. Now running on to talking of games, this is perfect for your esports titles, but also some of your AAA titles at slightly lower resolutions or quality settings. So let's have a look straight away. Rather than talk any more about this card, let's have a look at some of the benchmarks. Now the benchmarks have been performed with a Ryzen 7 1700X just to alleviate any kind of bottleneck from the GPU. So all the games have been run at 1080p at 60 Hz on my monitor. So let's jump straight into the benchmarks. So hopefully the benchmarks have given you some food for thought, and this will give you a good comparison of what you can get for your money. Now, this card falls into a slightly odd category at the moment in 2018 with pricing, as you've got the GTX 1060 3GB, not a massive amount more, but with considerably more firepower, but does require the extra power and also the extra power connections. So if your system has got the extra power connection and you're happy that it has, and you've got the room for a larger card and you can afford to pay a little bit extra, then I would definitely recommend going for the GTX 1060 3GB over this model. Again, depending on the price differential. But at the moment in the UK, these are retailing for around about £160. You can get the lower model, the 1050, without the TI suffix, anywhere from £100 to £120. So again, there's quite a big jump between the two. Now, the TI comes with 4GB, the standard 1050 generally is 2GB, so if you think you're going to need the extra RAM for your games and your textures, etc., then it's probably worth paying the extra. Now, this particular card, the Zotac Mini, again, perfect for mini PCs, and also because of the way it runs and the large fan and how cool it is, you're going to find this to be a very quiet performer. So if you're using it in a home theatre PC, for instance, this will happily run and not be at all distracting. So that pretty much sums up this unboxing and quick review of the GTX 1050 Ti from Zotac. If you've got any questions, put them in the comment section below. Again, if you like this video, click on the like button. If you disliked it, click on the dislike button. If your comments are a little bit more complicated than a simple like or dislike, then again, put it in the comment section below and we'll have a discussion about your comment. So, I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and we will catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.